So most people know Vegas like this, the lights, the city, the partying. But in this mini documentary, I'm about to show you Vegas in a way that likely you've never seen it before. Let's get it. I've been to Vegas 10 times before, but I've never experienced it like this. So after this trip, I reimagined Vegas in a completely different way. Because before, I knew it for the conferences and the crazy conferences and the after parties that we had. You know, vacations, gambling, and just the crazy hotels. But now in this trip, I'm also gonna show you how I paid half price for my stay at the Cosmo, and then our crazy road trip all the way from Cali to Vegas. So experiences are what live with me to the day that I die. And I'll tell you this, there is no experience quite like pushing an exotic on a track to its limit. So like driving on the highway, I've drove a few exotics, but it's nothing like the track. And so when you have an instructor telling you, no, push it faster, then you're already going 100 around the corner, he's like, no, push it to the limit. These exotic cars are meant to be pushed like this. And so when I got there, I would say my skill level on 0 out of a 10 on a track was probably about a 2 out of 10. But by the time I left, I was probably closer to a 6 out of 10. I feel like a big ass kid, lifelong dreams coming true. First time in a Lambo, first time on the track. I mean, as a little kid, this is everything you dream about, and now being a reality, I mean, I'm just grateful for whoever created this experience. Absolutely love it. So like I said, I'm about a 6 out of 10 by the time I left, but we got in the car with someone who's probably a 9.5 out of 10 on that track. And so we got in the Hellcat, 800 horsepower, and the way you was drifting around the track, hitting them like at full speed, literally Talia's titty popped out her shirt because that's how fast we was whipping around the corner. I tell you, it's one of the most unbelievable experiences. Now, something I'm a little bit better at, go-karting. So we did go-karting around the track, and like you've seen in every video, who ends first? Your boy, #1 stunner. So I'm telling you, that's just so much fun as well. If you like speed and adventure, I can't recommend it enough. So Nevada as a state is absolutely stunning, like truly beautiful. So just before the Hoover Dam entrance for the walkway, unfortunately right now it's closed, I think due to COVID. You have this beautiful view right up here of Lake Mead. I mean, water just looks majestic. You got all the boats down here, and this is definitely where you want to come and hang out and have some fun on the water. Good morning. Now, we didn't actually do this on purpose. So we're leaving from the Golden State, 7 o'clock in the morning. We were meant to leave at 5, but for some technical difficulties, we...
He's a liar.
It's the karma. When you come against me, that is what happens. Oh, and real quick, so how did we get to Vegas? This experience was completely different as well, because every time before, I've flown to Vegas. This time, it was a crazy road trip, about 9 hours from Oakland to Vegas. But the thing is, I said, let's make a few little pit stops on the way, and I was not disappointed, because I've seen landscapes that I've never seen before with my own 2 eyes, and it was really, like, you just can't forget it. It's unforgettable. And then one of the places that we actually stopped, so 8 hours from Oakland to Death Valley. This place is crazy. And if you're coming from like LA, it's about 4 hours. And this place is so hot that literally, they call it Death Valley for a reason. And so for me, I had a rental car. I rented the Range for the road trip. I was like, hey, it's not my Range, so I'm gonna push this thing to the limit. I was literally getting off road and everyone's like, oh no, please, you're going too fast off road. And that was one of the most memorable parts of the trip, because anyone knows me, I love speed and adventure. And when we were going off road, I was like, damn, These are truly unique landscapes that you only see in the movies or National Geographics, and so it's really worth the trip. Would I make this trip and drive every single time? Nah, man, just give me my flight and I'm in Vegas in an hour. But like for those life experiences, and as long as you have a good group driving with you, because you're in the car for a while, I'm telling you, it is one of these things that you're gonna remember for your entire life. So we stayed one night in Death Valley at the Oasis of Death Valley. And it has that name for a reason. When you roll in, you can see like the cactus trees, and then the grounds are amazing. They got the pool, the basketball court. It's basically like this big oasis in the middle of the desert. When I say desert, 120 degrees during the day, 100 degrees at night. It is literally Death Valley. It's actually the driest place in United States of America. And so this place is amazing. We stayed at the sister property. There's two properties. We stayed at the more affordable one first because this was the only one that was open, and it was still beautiful, right? It's not the craziest accommodations, but the whole grounds, I can imagine basically like 10 of my friends driving in and we spend the weekend there. That's the kind of vibe. And then after an 8-hour drive, or even if you have a 4-hour drive, one thing is you want to get a meal, and this place did not miss when it came to the food. And when you picture like a Western movie, that's what the grounds were like. And I'd never experienced anything like it before. And so when I actually tasted the food, I was like, thank you. After this long ass drive, the food hit the spot. And one thing about Death Valley is actually part of the Starry Sky Association, because there's very little light pollution while you're there. So you can actually see the Milky Way through certain parts of the year. It's absolutely beautiful. And so it's actually one of the best places, not just in the United States, the world, to actually stargaze. And then one thing that's not too far away from Death Valley as well is Zabriskie Point. This place looks like you're on a movie set. You're like, God, how did you create something like this? So here's Zabriskie Point in Death Valley. And one of the craziest things, it looks like I've hiked for hours, but it only took me like 5 minutes to get up here. So I know many of you will enjoy it as well. And it's just a testament. You have literally one of the most unique landscapes in the world in your backyard, right? We're always trying to go overseas, but look what we have here right at home. All right, let's talk about accommodation. So I know we're talking about everything outside of the Strip in Vegas, but Vegas has some of the best hotels in the world. And when 43% of your income comes from gambling, you want to make sure people feel comfortable while they spending their money, right? And they sleep at night. And so one of my favorite hotels in Vegas is the Vdara. I've actually been staying there since 2010. And why? It's literally the only smoke-free 5-star hotel in Vegas. And when you walk into the lobby, you can just smell the freshness. And they have some of the most beautiful rooms in Vegas. Literally, you can't really get a bad room in the Vdara. Now, yes, there are levels to the rooms. Like, I had a suite, it was really nice, right? But they go to levels beyond most people's comprehension. And so if you're looking for an amazing smoke-free hotel, also, it has no gambling, right? So it's someone who wants to, it's the perfect hotel if you want to enjoy Vegas without all the Vegas things. Woo! Literally 300 in the world of these made. So much fun. If you come to Vegas and you're looking to enhance your trip, I definitely recommend getting one of these if they're available. Let's get it. So pulling up to the Vdara in the Vanderbilt, man, this thing turns heads. One of the most fun vehicles I've ever had. And shout out to Turo. If you don't know what Turo is, basically it's like Airbnb for cars, pulled up $150 a day. And here's another little inside tip. So in Vegas, a lot of exotic rental places, they charge you like $3,000, $7,000 a day deposit, and then you get it back once you don't mess up their cars. But you know, to put that on your car, that's a lot. And so the most you'll ever get from Turo to rent, like if you get in the Rari, the Bentley is a $750 deposit for this car. I didn't even have to put a deposit down to rent this car. But I'm telling you, this car is one of the most fun things possible. And while I'm talking about the car, I took this thing everywhere. I rolled up to Magic Mountain, and then the colors of these things, you can tell, you're like, yo, some people are like, oh my God, is this like a natural thing? I was like, yo, man, your mama must have dropped you on your head if you think they building rocks like this. God's building rocks like this. You know, don't knock the God, you know, he thinks it's an amazing thing. But colorful rocks like this, But I'm telling you though, it's definitely a place that you roll up to get your grand pictures, and it's only about 20 minutes away from the Strip. So now back to accommodation. And my favorite place to stay in Vegas is the Cosmo. Like, as soon as you walk through that lobby, you can just feel the energy, and it is a vibe. Whoever curated this place deserves an award. I see you, I salute you. They've got all different types of rooms. It's amazing. Literally, you can have, you don't have another hotel where you can't get a bad room in the hotel. Now, the view that you can get, that can change. So when I stayed at the Cosmo, I paid about half of what others were paying at the Cosmo. Why? Because I use Hotwire, and basically, it's this app and websites that you get unsold rooms. Basically, the hotels make a deal behind the curtains with Hotwire, but they say, hey, don't put us on blast. But there's actually a way to reverse engineer the process to find out what hotel you're staying at. But I'll make like maybe I'll make a new YouTube channel about like how I fly first class for economy price and how I get the hotels half price, how I'll get Airbnbs for literally sometimes 25% of the listed price. But I'll put a link in the description. I'll make a whole new YouTube channel because I just want to tell you about this whole Vegas experience. But back to the Cosmo, literally they have it all, right? The rooms, if you want to party, I cannot say or not if we had one of the best times of our life at Marche Day Club. I said we didn't do anything on the Strip, we actually did. And yo, shout out to Kelly. Like I told you, I roll with boss women. The bill at Marquee was about $1,500, and your boy did not pay for the bill. Like I said, she got that Google money and really making things happen. Shout out to all my boss women out there making things happen, right? So sometimes I think you see all these beautiful women in the videos and think they just rolling out. Nah, they take care of these things too, right? We in 2021. This ain't 1950 no more. So now I want you to remember while you're looking at this footage, I paid $90 a night for this, right? And so the view, like I said, if you can ask for a view of the fountains, it's going to change your whole experience. And another thing is, so I have an Amex card, and so you automatically, if you have an Amex Platinum, you get gold status on Marriott Bonvoy. So I said, hey, I'm a Bonvoy member, and so they upgraded me to a suite because of this status. There's all these little things that you can do, but I'm telling you, it makes the experience all that much better. And they have all these restaurants, and you can do shopping within the Cosmo. It has, my favorite low-key spot for breakfast was the Eggslut. This place is that absolute vibe. I cannot say enough about the Cosmo. When I come back, can I at least stay for free after this plug? And just want y'all to know though, because when we stayed at the pandemic, the price now is obviously a lot higher. I saw recently regular room rates were like $800, and then a Hotwire, I think it was like $400 or $500. So just depending, oh, one last thing, this is for all of Vegas, so you can enjoy. On the weekend, prices are typically 2, even 3 times higher than they are during the week. So Monday through Thursday, you can get rooms at probably a third or half of the weekday price. And so if you want to experience Vegas like we did, everything outside the Strip, you know, go experience it during the week, especially with all this remote working. So one of the coolest experiences that we did was actually on the Strip, or I should say above the Strip, is a helicopter at night over the Strip. You see the city really come alive at night. And then Grand Canyon helicopter tours, they know how to put together experience. So we actually leave from the Cosmo, but they pick us up in a limo. I was like, okay, this is a whole vibe. We bought a bottle of champagne in the limo. The driver was cool. So even before we get to the helicopter, we've already had an experience, and they are so professional. The helicopter was beautiful. The pilot was super cool. An experience that I highly recommend. If you're going with friends, if you're taking wifey, or you're taking your man, this is one of those things that you're also gonna remember for the rest of your life. So one thing Vegas is known for, it's dining. And I have not talked about any fine dining yet, because I'm talking about everything outside of the Strip. And so we went to, on the way to the Red Rock Canyon, there's this place called Henderson, and we stopped by this French restaurant. It's right on a lake, and it's just absolute tranquility vibes all around, and they did not disappoint. And one of cool little side note is also a wine shop, and they let you buy wine from the shop at that price versus paying these crazy Vegas prices, what you would normally pay at a nice high-end restaurant. And then I actually had a chance to catch up with my friend Shonda, who I've known for a while. She actually lives in Milwaukee, but just also moved to Vegas with her son. And then she is one of the top hairstylists in the world. Like if you're in Milwaukee, oh yeah, shout out to Giannis, man, Bucks in 6, but you know I'm from Chi-Town. But she has one of the top salons out there. She's always courtside and everything. But here in Vegas, she is also opening up a spot out here. And so Talia wanted to change her hair up a little bit. And so Shonda's like, yo, come through the shop tomorrow, I got you. And so she completely switched it up, and she was not disappointed. If you're in Vegas and you need a hairstylist, reach out to Shonda. I'll put her info here and below. She will not miss, I guarantee it. But yo, fellas, you know it's not an official Passport Heavy video without getting my hair cut. So I was doing a little Googling, and I found my barber, and once I went in there, I saw the Jordan poster and everything, and I started talking to the owner, and he's like, oh, yo, I'm from Chi-Town. I was like, yo, Chi-Town, what is up? He hooked the boy up, fresh, professional spot, not too far off the strip, so if you need to get fresh while you're in Vegas, highly recommend the spot. So there is so much to Vegas, and so I'm gonna let the man behind the camera show you a little bit more, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you a few more things. There's one thing I don't need to tell you about Vegas, it's hot, it's real hot. And one of the things that we did that made us feel like little kids is we went to an aqua park. They have, like, if you want to do flyboard and all these different type of activities. And when I say we felt like big ass kids, sometimes you do these things and you're like, man, it's actually fun just to let loose and feel like a kid again. Oh, and before I go, people are always asking, yo, how can I connect with other Passport Heavy members internationally or even at home in the United States? Well, there's a link in the description. Make sure you opt in if we've got merch dropping, if we might have a new app dropping, anything that we have going up, meetups, the link in the description, get on the email list, and anything important, we're gonna hit you. Also, follow us on Instagram, on Passport Heavy, and then we're always dropping updates and all the little behind the scenes things as we go along. But anyways, man, I hope y'all have a beautiful time in Vegas. Let us know in the comments if you've been to Vegas before, the stuff that we've missed, and then we should put in the next video, or if we should come visit y'all somewhere. So shout out to Vegas. Who knew I'd have the best time that I've ever had in Vegas without hitting the strip clubs? I didn't hit no nightclubs. I didn't even gamble while I was here in Vegas. A completely new way to experience it. And I encourage you to come and enjoy it as well, because they have so much beauty outside the strip. I mean, I love the strip. I did hit a day party. But all in all, I can't recommend Vegas more than enough. I want to give a big shout out to the man behind the camera, Mr. Yuri, who shot and edited this entire video. A lot of fun. Big shout out to Kelly, who came along on this trip, and an extra big shout out to Talia, who produced this entire episode, had us doing a lot of the coolest things that I didn't even know existed in Vegas. But with that, man, I hope you enjoy Vegas. If you see me outside, say what up, because I love seeing y'all. Take care. Woo!
That timing, though.
Yeah.
Timing.
And Vegas, we looking forward to coming back. Nevada, yo, cut that boy a check so I can come back and really show off your state in a way that most people don't know that exists. Anyways, man, oh wait, there was a little behind the scenes footage. Let's get it.
Everybody whipping in Vegas. Like, what is it? Why is this a thing?
My big ass in this small ass car. I'm too big for this small ass car. But man, what an experience.
Influencers in the wild.
So I won't even lie to you. I've never changed coolant on a car ever. So, what the hell? So hopefully I do this right. Even when I tried to pop the hood, I accidentally opened the trunk and then everything fell out. I don't know, I might have to watch a YouTube video on how to do this. Is this one?
Yeah.
You 100% sure? Now I don't just do ads and YouTube videos, I also fix cars. And that's how you change the coolant in the car. You YouTube kids, learn how to do some manual labor. Mujeres? Anyway, gracias.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.